What is up? So this is video number 2 on finding your target audience. So the reason I'm doing 2 pretty lengthy videos on this is because this is by far the most important part of the marketing process. So finding your avatar, your ICP, ideal client profile, has a few different terms, but basically it just means narrowing down who you're targeting into somebody that you can speak directly to in your marketing messaging. So, if you're trying to talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So this type of marketing is disruptive marketing. It's direct response marketing. So in order for direct response marketing to be effective, you have to have a target audience that feels like you're speaking directly to them in your messaging and in your marketing material. So the purpose of this worksheet is to help you identify opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, and threats within your business in a structured and systematic way. So on the next sheet that we're going to go through, avoiding failure mechanisms. So this is where we're going to list out all of the pain points, all of the problems that the target audience in whatever niche or vertical that you're targeting is dealing with. And then next to that, we're going to find solutions to each of those problems. And identifying profitable markets matrix. So this is where we identify the best markets to sell your offer to, and this is where the pricing comes in. So how, high ticket, low ticket, somewhere in between. Conditional guarantees. This is where we find a way to give a risk-free guarantee that will boost your marketing performance and the performance of your ads and play into that disruptive direct response marketing that I was speaking about earlier. So a lot of people are scared of guarantees because they think they're going to get a lot of refunds, but what you need to think about is how to create a conditional guarantee. So an example of a conditional guarantee could be something like, for me, I can guarantee you 10 qualified booked calls in the next 30 days of your money back, but in fine print, in order for me to get you those 10 qualified booked calls, you need to have a setter in place in your business. You need to have a VA or somebody that's going to be dialing the leads as soon as they come in. You need to have at least $100 a day in ad spend or something, for example. So all of these things need to be in place in order for that guarantee to be locked in order for me to be on the hook for that guarantee. So let's jump into the avoiding failure mechanisms. So here is where we would typically list out all of the potential problems, pain points, frustrations that our target market is facing, right? So, for example, with Trevor and Let's Go Hustle and Turo, you have a wide range of different problems that people can be facing. So, they want to work from home. Let's see. They're low on capital to start a business. They don't know where to start. Lack of knowledge / skills. And the idea behind this is to list out literally as many problems as you can possibly think of. And over here on the mechanism to avoid failure, so they want to work from home, this is where you provide the solution. So work remotely with Turo, low on capital to start a business. This is where we do credit repair and funding to get them their vehicles to start. Don't know where to start. This is where we have the mentorship / courses. Lack of knowledge and skills, so this can kind of technically be the same as the other one. right? And then so from here, what you do is you do delivery process. So work remotely with Turo. This is done with you. Low on capital, credit repair and funding. This is, we do this for you. Don't know where to start, lack of knowledge, done for you, so on and so forth. And you just go down the whole list. And then here's, where you list out, top, high priority, low priority, schedule to do later, take notes, etc. Now, identifying your profitable markets. So here is where you basically are going to figure out how to price your offer, right? So there's upsides and downsides to each of these. So for example, if I'm targeting business owners, if I'm doing B2B and I'm targeting business owners that are making less than 10K a month, so they are typically going to get the least amount of ROI from the service, but on the upside, they are the easiest to find, right? And then you just go down the list. So founders that are making below 50K a month, but more than 10K a month, they're going to get a pretty good ROI. I don't know if they would get all the way up there, so let's say 3 out of 5. Can they effortlessly afford this? If they're making, 10, 20, 30K a month, depending on how high ticket of a product or offer you're trying to sell, they can probably, most likely afford it. We'll put that at 3. Can you almost guarantee them results or success? Most likely if they're making between 20 to 50K a month. Easily find them. They are a little bit harder to find, so we'll put them down here. And then same thing with the rest of the people on the list, right? And what you're going to find is you're going to find somewhere here in between. So, let's say you are doing a window cleaning business, pressure washing business, something like that. You are looking for people in residential neighborhoods who, for example, have homes that are worth, more than 200,000, but less than $1 million. That would put you somewhere in the middle, for example. Then in the next sheet, we have the conditional guarantee. So this is where you just basically kind of map out how you're going to structure your conditional guarantee, right? So let's say, this is easier to do for B2B than B2C, but let's say you are a e-commerce company, for example. You're selling a product. Your conditional guarantee, easy one would just be, satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. And then in the fine print somewhere you would have, your stipulations to that. So they have to, if they get your product, they have to post a review of your product on Amazon. They have to, package and return the product and within 7 to 14 days in order for the guarantee to, come into effect, so on and so forth. And that is basically the way that we like to break down how to, A, determine your target audience, B, how to structure your offer in a way that it appeals to that target audience, and then C, how to create conditional guarantees that's going to be effective in your marketing messaging.